Heartsprinkle.
Hey guys, it's Krystle, and today I wanted to show you how to make these clay stones. Now I do have to give credit to Lynn's Crafts, and her information will be down below. She is the original artist I learned this technique from, but she asked me how I made the purple look like a light purple with the dark swirls in it. So let's get started. The materials you will need will be alcohol, a rolling pin or pasta machine, translucent polymer clay, alcohol ink, I'm using only one color each, some glitter, you can use any glitter, a piece of a sponge, paper towel, and you can also use metal leaf and embossing powder, but I don't have the image of the embossing powder on here. So first you need to condition your clay and roll it out with a rolling pin, then run it through the pasta machine through the thinnest setting that you can get it. Mine was on 2. Number 1 was a little too thin, it was just crinkling up my clay, but the thinner the better. And this can also be achieved using a rolling pin, so if you don't have a pasta machine, you can totally use a rolling pin. Once you're happy with your sheet, you can lay it flat and start putting some rubbing alcohol all over it using your sponge. Now I wouldn't put too much or too little because you need to be able to put the alcohol ink on there lightly, and you need it to kind of spread around so it doesn't get like too much ink on one spot, you know what I mean? Just kind of, it doesn't have to be even, but it needs to be lighter than the actual alcohol ink itself. That way you will have the variation of dark to light. Now here you also need some alcohol on top of that layer. That way when you drop the alcohol ink, it blotches out that way. I think I tried it dry before and it just dropped like a circle. Now you can put your glitter, stars, hearts, whatever shape, embossing powder, etc. And once that dries, you can start to roll it up, and make sure that you roll it up to where you get the least amount of bubbles inside. And that's the purpose of rolling it up this way, is that way you don't get any bubbles, because if you do, it'll make your stone crack. So when you guys start cutting it into pieces, just cut it to whatever size you'd like. I like mine to be small, so I'm making them kind of mini. Now I have some tips and suggestions on rolling them. When you roll the ball, it gives you that swirl effect, and you know how sometimes when you roll a ball in your palms it gets into that egg shape or oval shape? That kind of works out for you. It gives you more of an actual swirl in the clay. Also, when you flatten it out, look at the ball before you do it. That way you can see which swirl design you want facing up and decide which one's more eye appealing before you flatten it. If a glitter is popping out, you can pop it back in, or push it back in and put a little bit of the translucent clay that's already on there over it so it stays in. Now here you can see the light and the dark. You can't really see that, where the stars are and stuff. Whenever you bake it, it's kind of a surprise, which makes this project more fun. But another tip is that when you're flattening and smoothing it out, I would get it as smooth as you can. That way you have less time of sanding it and buffing it to give it that smooth and shiny look in the end. So after you've done all the flattening and doming and everything, you just bake it and follow the instructions to the clay that you use on the packaging. Alright guys, so this is how they end up looking like, and on this side right here, these are the polished ones, and this side are the ones that I haven't even buffed or anything. Now some of them are pretty cool because you can get a surprise on how much actually shows up of the glitter, because while I was rolling these out, I didn't see them, underneath it like that. And this is why you need your clay at a very thin setting. That way you can see right through it like that. And some tips for you. If you're going to leave it the way it is, I would polish it. That's, it's harder to hand polish it. It just takes more time. but you don't have to polish all of them if you're doing this, because the shininess right here, the smoothness, I notice it's kind of hard to get the clay to stay on. You see how I have the wing right here? It's kind of hard to get the clay to stay on, and not only that, but you took all this time to polish them, but if you're working with raw clay, you'll get this like hazy layer on your stone, and you still have to like clean it up and then glaze it anyway. So if you just get to the point where you just kind of buff it to smooth it out and then put the glaze on, it'll show the same effect. Also, if you are doing something like this, I suggest that you leave the back the way it is. That way it can actually grab onto the raw clay as well. And what else? There, you can also put different like things in here. I also normally use fine glitter. It's just, they're so small. Here's a comparison to like one of those marbles you can get at the craft store. So I didn't want too much going on. I kind of just really wanted the marbled look and like an accent of a star every now and then, like this one. This one was a crazy batch. I actually made a regular size one, but I was worried about the small ones because there's just so much going on in it. But like any of the glitter can go in, some embossing powder can go in there, and like I showed on the video, I didn't put any of them with the silver flake stuff. So yeah, you'd be surprised. You can experiment with what you can put in there. And yeah, I'd love to see it if you guys, you know, make these marble things. I call them little stones or fake stones or faux stones or whatever. But tag me if you share a photo on Instagram, and use my hashtag, which will be at the bottom of the screen. And don't forget to click the like button and let me know if you guys want other tutorials by writing a comment down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.